Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Today, we are going to talk about a very private topic, a natural and healthy part of human life, which is sex. Often, when we talk about sex, we immediately think of connection, pleasure, and even health benefits like stress reduction or improved sleep. But have you ever stopped to ask, is it possible that there is another side? A balance that needs to be observed, even with such a healthy activity? Like anything in life, from eating, working, to exercising, moderation is always key. So, what can happen when that balance is broken? When sexual activity goes beyond the healthy limit for you personally, affecting physical and mental health? Today, we will together explore health and mental effects when sexual activity is beyond a healthy balance. Delving into understanding the importance of balance in sexual life, the signs that things might be going beyond the healthy limit, and how that can impact both your body and mind, specifically for young and middle-aged people in the US, in an open, honest, and non-judgmental way, so you can better understand yourself and build a healthy, holistic sexual life. Dear friends, for young and middle-aged people in the US, sexual life is an important aspect of overall health and personal happiness. However, in a society where information about sex can be both open yet full of pressures and expectations, e.g. from media, peers, maintaining a balanced and healthy sexual life is not always easy. There may be misunderstandings about normal, frequency, invisible pressures from outside, or using sex as a way to cope with stress or negative emotions. Studies on sexual health and psychology indicate that, while healthy sexual activity brings many benefits, when it becomes imbalanced, compulsive, or becomes a way to escape other problems, it can cause significant negative effects on physical health, mental health, and relationships. Understanding these potential signs and impacts is very important to maintain personal integrity and build healthy relationships. So, when sexual activity goes beyond a healthy balance for you personally, what effects on physical and mental health can occur? We will delve into these aspects. The first impact, physical, wear and tear, is physical fatigue and exhaustion. Sexual activity is a form of physical exertion. When the frequency is too high without adequate rest and recovery, your body can feel tired and lack energy. Why can excessive sexual activity cause fatigue? Because it requires energy expenditure, causes temporary hormonal changes, and in some cases, can affect sleep quality if it occurs at inappropriate times or causes anxiety afterwards. Example: you might feel sluggish, lack energy for work the next day, not have enough strength to participate in family activities or personal hobbies because your body hasn't recovered. Work, family, difficulty maintaining concentration and work productivity. Feeling irritable or impatient with family members due to fatigue. Mechanism: sexual activity requires energy expenditure, can cause temporary changes in certain hormone levels, and requires time for the body to recover. How to reduce the impact? Pay attention to your body and ensure you get enough rest after periods of high-frequency sexual activity. Ensure good quality sleep. The second impact, localized discomfort, is genital irritation or discomfort. High-frequency sexual activity can cause friction, leading to dryness, soreness, or even minor injury in the genital area. Why can too much sexual activity cause irritation? Because repeated friction, inadequate natural or artificial lubrication, can temporarily thin or damage the sensitive membrane or skin in the genital area. Example: feeling sore, uncomfortable, or itchy in the genital area after sex. Needing to take breaks from sexual activity to allow the area to recover. This discomfort can affect your mood and self-confidence. Mechanism: friction and physical stress on sensitive tissues, potentially leading to mild inflammation or micro-damage. How to reduce the impact: ensure adequate lubrication is used. Communicate with your partner about your feelings to adjust intensity or method. Take breaks if you feel discomfort. If the condition persists, consult a doctor. The third impact: the risk of infection, is potential increased risk of urinary tract infections in women, or prostatitis in men. Frequent sexual activity can potentially increase the risk of introducing bacteria into the urinary tract in women, or prostate in men. Why might sexual activity increase the potential risk of infection? Because sexual activity can create conditions for bacteria to move into these areas. Note: this risk is more related to hygiene and other personal factors than just frequency alone. Example: in women, symptoms of a urinary tract infection, burning during urination. Frequent urination may occur. In men, symptoms of prostatitis, pain in the pelvic area. Difficulty urinating may occur, requiring medical examination and treatment. Mechanism: movement of bacteria from one area to another during sexual activity. This emphasizes the importance of hygiene and other factors. How to reduce the impact: urinate after sexual activity, especially important for women. Maintain good personal hygiene. If you have symptoms, see a doctor immediately. The fourth impact: psychological dependence, is psychological dependence or compulsive behavior. For some individuals, sexual activity, including masturbation or using pornography, can become a way to cope with stress, anxiety, depression, or other psychological issues. When it becomes excessive, uncontrollable, and negatively affects life, it can become compulsive behavior. Why does this happen? Because sexual activity releases dopamine and other feel-good chemicals in the brain, which can create a psychological loop that the individual uses to self-medicate negative emotions. Example: spending excessive time on sexual pursuits, in person or online, to the point of neglecting work, studies, or important relationships. Feeling unable to control impulses or behavior. Feeling guilty, ashamed, or empty after performing the behavior. Work, family. Difficulty concentrating at work. Missing important family events, causing tension and misunderstanding in the relationship with a partner. Mechanism: impact on the brain's reward system. Using sex as an unhealthy coping mechanism. And underlying psychological factors: anxiety, depression, trauma. How to reduce the impact: self-reflect or talk to a trusted friend about whether your sexual activity is negatively affecting other aspects of your life. Seek help from a therapist or psychologist specializing in sexual health or compulsive behavior. The fifth impact: emotional damage, is negative impact on mental and emotional well-being, beyond compulsion. Even without reaching the level of compulsion. Focusing too much on sex, especially if it stems from a need for validation, pressure to perform, or is within unhealthy relationship dynamics, can cause emotional damage. Why does this happen? Because relying on sex to feel worthy or maintain a relationship can lower self-esteem, create performance anxiety, or lead to feelings of emptiness when the connection is only physical. Example: feeling pressured to agree to sex to please a partner or out of fear of losing them. Feeling anxious before each sexual encounter. Feeling lonely and empty after sex despite high frequency. Work, family. Negative emotions affecting interactions with colleagues or family members. Mechanism: self-esteem issues. Misguided motivation for sexual activity. Lack of deep emotional connection in the relationship. How to reduce the impact. Focus on building self-esteem from within. Communicate openly and honestly with your partner about your needs and desires, both physical and emotional. Consider individual therapy or couples counseling to address underlying issues. The sixth impact: interference with life, is negative impact on other areas of life. The excessive time, energy, or focus dedicated to sexual pursuits can take away resources meant for work, family, friends, and other goals. Why does this happen? Because our resources, time, energy, attention, are limited. When one activity takes too much, other activities are affected. Example: feeling too tired or distracted to perform well at work. Missing important family events or social gatherings. Lacking time or motivation to pursue hobbies, learn new things, or simply rest. Work, family. Decreased work productivity. Strained relationship with partner or children due to lack of presence and attention. Mechanism: misallocation of resources, time, energy, attention. Prioritizing one activity excessively leading to neglect of other necessary activities for a balanced life. How to reduce the impact. Re-evaluate how you are allocating your time and energy. Set clear boundaries for time spent on sexual activities. Prioritize other important areas of life such as work, family, friends, and self-care. The seventh impact: relationship strain, is causing strain in the relationship. Imbalances in frequency, desire, or one partner using sex as a coping mechanism or to maintain the relationship can create tension, misunderstanding, and resentment between couples. Why does this happen? Because of lack of communication. Incompatibility of needs. When one person wants significantly more or less than the other. Or sex covering up deeper emotional issues. Example: arguments about sexual frequency. One partner feeling pressured or unmet. Feeling a lack of emotional connection despite physical intimacy. Work, family. Strain in sexual life affecting the general atmosphere in the family. Mechanism: differences in needs and expectations. Lack of open and honest communication about sex and emotions. Personal psychological issues affecting behavior within the relationship. How to reduce the impact. Initiate open and honest conversations with your partner about the needs, desires, and feelings of both related to sexual life. Listen empathetically. Consider couples counseling for support from a professional. The eighth impact: temporary hormonal and recovery changes. Is temporary hormonal changes and recovery time. While the body usually recovers quickly after sexual activity, at extremely high frequencies, there can be temporary hormonal shifts or a need for longer recovery periods, affecting energy and mood. Why does this happen? For example, after orgasm, prolactin levels can increase, related to feelings of sleepiness and a need for rest. At very high frequencies, it may take longer for the body to rebalance. Example: feeling unusually sluggish or slightly irritable after a period of extremely high-frequency activity. Needing more time to feel normal again. Mechanism: the physiological state after orgasm and temporary adjustments of various hormones in the body. How to reduce the impact. Listen to your body's signals. Allow your body enough time to recover between periods of high-frequency activity. Ensure sufficient sleep. The ninth impact, exacerbating existing conditions, is worsening of underlying health conditions. For individuals with existing health issues, e.g. heart conditions, chronic fatigue, certain musculoskeletal issues, some psychological disorders, physically or psychologically excessive sexual activity could potentially make symptoms worse. Why does this happen? Because sexual activity requires energy and can cause stress, both physical and mental, which can be a burden on a body or mind that already has existing issues. Example: feeling more tired, more pain, or other symptoms related to their condition becoming worse after periods of excessive sexual activity. Work, family. Symptoms of underlying conditions becoming more pronounced, affecting ability to work and participate in family life. How to reduce the impact. Consult a doctor about safe levels of physical activity, including sexual activity, appropriate and safe for your specific condition. Learn to listen to and respect your body's limits. The 10th impact, risks from unsafe practices. Is risks associated with unsafe practices, if excessive, involves multiple partners or lack of protection. Note: this impact is related to behavior, not just frequency alone. If a person's excessive sexual activity includes sex with multiple partners without using protection, the risk of contracting sexually transmitted infections, STIs, will significantly increase. Why is this dangerous? Because STIs can cause serious health problems, sometimes long-lasting, and can be transmitted to others. Example: contracting infections like chlamydia, gonorrhea, herpes, HIV, AIDS, requiring medical treatment, potentially causing long-term damage to reproductive health or overall health. How to reduce the impact. Always practice safe sex, use condoms. Get tested for STIs regularly if you are sexually active with multiple partners. Communicate openly and honestly with your partners about each other's sexual health history. Fueling your overall well-being, nutrition and health for a balanced life. Maintaining overall physical and mental health supports healthy sexual function and helps address any underlying issues that might contribute to imbalanced sexual behaviors or make you more susceptible to physical or psychological strain. Eating for energy and emotional balance. Supporting your holistic well-being, integrating food section. Focus on cognitive function. Energy, mood, stress management. A balanced diet that provides stable energy and supports mental well-being contributes to a healthier relationship with all aspects of life, including sex. Balanced diet supports overall energy and physical health, reducing fatigue that might be mistakenly attributed solely to sexual activity. Sources: mix of complex carbs, lean protein, healthy fats, fruits, veggies. Mechanism: provides necessary nutrients for bodily functions. Foods supporting hormonal balance. While complex, certain nutrients play roles in hormonal pathways. Avoid making specific claims about boosting libido. Focus on general balance. Sources: healthy fats, lean protein, vitamins, minerals, zinc, vitamin D. Mechanism: provide building blocks, cofactors for hormone synthesis. Omega-3s support brain health and mood regulation. which can help manage stress or anxiety that might contribute to compulsive behaviors or affect sexual well-being. Sources: fatty fish, salmon, sardines, walnuts, chia seeds. Mechanism: influence neurotransmitters, reduce inflammation. Complex carbohydrates and lean protein provide stable energy, helping prevent fatigue and supporting physical stamina. Sources: whole grains, beans, chicken, fish. Antioxidant-rich foods reduce inflammation and stress, supporting overall physical and mental resilience. Sources: berries, colorful vegetables. How to incorporate simple ideas for overall health. Regular, balanced meals and snacks. Focus on whole, unprocessed foods. Stay hydrated. Mechanism summary: these nutrients support overall physical health, energy levels, hormonal balance, generally, and mental well-being, creating a stronger foundation for healthy living, including a healthy approach to sex. Simple recipe ideas focus on overall well-being and balance. Overnight oats. Sheet pan meals with protein and veggies. Healthy smoothies. Nutritional advice. Warnings: avoid restrictive diets or excessive stimulants that can negatively impact energy, mood, and hormonal balance. Consult a doctor, registered dietitian for personalized advice, especially if you have underlying health conditions or concerns about hormonal health. Describing users' feelings. Before understanding this balance, perhaps you sometimes felt tired without a clear reason, felt guilty or ashamed about your sexual behavior, felt anxious related to sex or relationships, felt physically stressed and uncomfortable, felt controlled by your desires or behavior, or felt emotionally empty despite having sexual activity. These feelings can make you feel insecure and dissatisfied with your life. But as you begin to recognize the importance of balance, listen to your body and mind, and seek help when needed, you will feel a significant sense of relief. You will feel more in control of your behavior, feel more peaceful and confident about your sexual life, have more energy for other aspects of life, build deeper and more genuine relationships, and feel satisfied with your overall well-being. Understanding balance helps you live a healthier, happier, and more complete life. Using idioms and advice from older generations. An older generation says, "Too much of anything is not good, even good things," referring to the importance of moderation in all aspects of life. Our grandparents often taught, "Prevention is better than cure." Paying attention to balance in sexual life is a way to prevent health and mental issues later. There is a proverb that says, "Know yourself and know your enemy, and you will win 100 battles." Understanding your body, mind, and emotions is key to a healthy sexual life and overall well-being. Bringing it all together. Balance in sexual life. The key to holistic health and happiness. Sex is a natural part of life, bringing many benefits when healthy and balanced. However, when it goes beyond the healthy limit for the individual, or becomes a way to cope with other problems, it can cause significant negative effects on physical and mental health. From fatigue, physical discomfort, potential increased risk of infection, psychological dependence, emotional impact, interference with life, relationship strain, temporary hormonal changes, exacerbating existing conditions, to risks from unsafe practices, all emphasize the importance of balance. By listening to your body and mind, communicating openly with your partner, seeking help when needed, and nourishing your overall health through diet and a healthy lifestyle, You are fully capable of building a healthy, balanced sexual life that contributes to your happiness and well-being. Have open and honest conversations with your partner about the needs and boundaries of both of you in your sexual life. Listen to your body. Don't hesitate to take a break or reduce frequency if you feel physically tired or uncomfortable. If you feel you are engaging in uncontrollable sexual behaviors, using sex to cope with negative emotions, or it is negatively impacting your life and relationships, don't hesitate to seek help from a therapist, psychologist, or sexual health counselor. Always practice safe sex to protect yourself from sexually transmitted infections. Remember, an older generation says, when eating, look at the pot; when sitting, look at the direction. Meaning when doing anything, you need to look around and consider the circumstances. This also applies to maintaining balance in personal life. Dear friends, sexual life is an important part of being human. When approached with understanding, respect, and balance, it can be a source of joy, connection, and happiness. By being aware of the potential signs of imbalance and actively taking care of your physical and mental health, you are investing in a more complete and healthy life. Don't hesitate to share your thoughts on balance in sexual life, or something you have learned about sexual health, or any questions you have in the comments section below. Let's create an open and supportive space to share knowledge. Or is there any other topic about health, relationships, or personal happiness you would like me to cover? Our community is here to learn and grow together. And if you found this video helpful and want to explore more tips on living a healthy life both physically and mentally, building healthy relationships, and improving your quality of life, don't forget to hit the like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. Goodbye, and I'll see you in the next videos.